Ghostbusters, the video game. Now, let's put this in perspective. Ghostbusters, the video game, is a twin-stick shooter, and not a very good twin-stick shooter, if I might add. You are 4 different Ghostbusters, which aren't even either the ones from the 2006 movie or anything, but they're new recruits. And apparently, that the new Ghostbusters from the movie are actually saving people like superheroes. I think that's a little ridiculous in the continuity of it. But anyway, let's move back onto it. But the animation in the cutscenes are fantastic. It's like watching a cartoon, which I really wish that they made another Ghostbusters cartoon. But then it gets to the gameplay and then just like, bleh, this is not what a Ghostbusters video game is like. You're not sitting there shooting at Gozer or anything like the original Ghostbusters video game, which came out a few years ago. No, you're shooting generic ghosts, which don't even look that good on a twin-stick shooter platform. One of the things that it does sell me on is the Ghostbusters menu. As you're waiting for the load, it shows the Ghostbusters theme song. Not the Fall Out Boy one, but the one from the original 2 movies. This is not a fun twin-stick shooter, let's be honest. Let's be set on. You're essentially using a gun on ghosts, then you're using your proton pack, and when you're using the guns, they're not exactly, well, you chew up your ammo just like in a split second, and that's it. You got to reload, or you got to use another weapon, which there isn't that much. There's a heavy, there's a support, there's a shotgun class, and I think there's a medic. But I couldn't play this game for no less than probably half an hour before I just said, this game is just rubbish. I could not play any more of it. So yeah. Moving on to the good stuff, there were some ghosts from the movie, and some of the monsters look like Slimer, but that's generally the only good thing that I liked about it, because the voice actors sound like they're really awkward, like they tried to talk to each other, and it just sounds awkward. So that's it. That's probably it for my words on the video game. Now let's move on to the score. And I give Ghostbusters 2016 the game 5.5. And now it's time for the Ghostbusters movie review. Look, a lot of people have been giving this movie a lot of hate just because it says Ghostbusters. Oh, they should have named this to a Paranormal Activity whatever parody. To be honest, this movie stands on its own 2 feet. Not a lot of people are realizing this. They're saying, oh, that the movie is way too much like the original. But there are some things from the original and some of them are not. But let me tell you, it's a really good movie, and we're going to start off with the bads before we get on to the good. The bad things are, well, the jokes aren't funny. There's probably a couple of jokes in there that are really funny, but not too funny to where you're sitting there laughing your head off. And I can't remember her character, but her name is Patty in the movie. She's the female black woman. I wish they had female leads that just didn't have to go, oh hell no. But she did a good job overall anyway. She was a little bit annoying sometimes, but she was a good character overall. But I just can't get over the fact that the jokes just weren't that funny. And well, that's pretty much all my hate for the movie. Now let's move on to the good things that I liked. I loved Melissa McCarthy. This is the first movie that I've actually liked Melissa McCarthy in a movie. I like the rest of the cast. I like Kristen Wiig. She got slimed a lot in this movie. And the effects for the ghosts, they look amazing. The first one where you see in the Aldrich Mansion, she looks amazing. And she looks even more terrifying when her face turns to the one where she vomits all that slime. But yeah, this movie is, it's not a train wreck, it's nothing, it's just average. But I enjoyed a lot of it. And well, Ghostbusters if they're going to sit there and talk about it, they might as well. But let's talk on about the cameos. Bill Murray supposed to look like he was phoning it in or something. Dan Aykroyd was playing Ray. Right up, even though he was a taxi driver, it didn't matter. And Ernie Hudson's was okay as well, playing the uncle of Patty, who owns the Ecto-1. It only turned out that the Ecto-1 at the end blew up. But I enjoyed the villain, because I know a lot of people know this, but people like us, that we are, well, yes, we're probably awkward, we look weird, but some things like this can happen to people if you're not careful. Not actually turn the whole place go infected with ghosts, but if people do that sort of stuff and void them, don't just say, oh, that guy looks awkward. Just go up and say, hey, my name's such and such. But anyway, we're not talking to a self-help. But I enjoyed the villain. I enjoyed what they did with the No Ghost logo. A lot of people have said this, oh, this is animated. Look, it's just that part was probably ripping off Ghost's part, but it was still, I enjoyed it immensely. Slimer's cameo was a bit, it's not that. It was okay, it was just doing for fan service. I wish they did that thing that Paul Feig said as he was being interviewed by IGN, doing the origins of Slimer. I would be interested to see what that would be like. But yeah, it was an interesting film. A lot of controversies because they're women. I thought myself too that they could have got a much better cast, but I was wrong. I went into this film saying, look, I'm going to have an open mind. I'm not going to sit there and talk crap about it. I'm going to watch it with an open mind. And this movie just blew me away on how the action, how this is going to set up an expanded universe, I hope. But yeah, so Ghostbusters 2016, Answer the Call, which I think is, they should have said Who's Gonna Call, is amazing. So I give Ghostbusters a 7 out of 10.